A little bit about my background. So I used to be working for Sberbank. It's the biggest bank in Eastern Europe. It's 80 million clients, 20,000 branches. And then I left 2 years ago in order to run my own company, that is BankEx. And it's firstly started as FinTech Lab, as BankEx Labs. And right now it's something more than just FinTech Lab. So this is basically what we are building. It's Decentralized Bank-as-a-Service. So let's start. So the problems that bank solving right now, it's they struggle to collaborate and innovate. It's why they started to build innovation labs. And there are different layers of problem here. One of them is slow speed and high time to market. So usually, at least in Europe, it takes 6 months in average in order to get this done. In 3 months, if the banks are very quick, 6 months regularly, and to get the product on the market commercial, it takes 1 year. And usually, even the big banks have capacity to run up to 6-10 pilots over the year, series pilots. Small banks don't do this at all. So, and for smaller banks, most of these pilots, they're about some fancy stuff, some like just recognizing you by photo and all those things. So they do not touch backend system because it's very tough and very expensive. So second one is resource integration constraints, limited IT budgets, and finally loyalty and trust issues because the banks difficult to innovate because of regulatory perspective, and they are afraid that the clients will not get it or they will lose some client base. So they need, often they do this with separate brands, so there are some problem like that. Yeah, so one of the key problem and one of the things that should be solved, and the banks should structure themselves in the way that they become part of ecosystem. So they need better to collaborate with fintech and basically, and even with each other, because it's difficult to get different bankers in one negotiation room and make a deal. I mean, they usually do not go out of the banks to another bank. They just want to invite everybody to their bank, and it's done. So, so it's very difficult to make some kind of coalitions there. So basically, this is our solution. It's and this is one of the trends, global trends. So when the banks are going from centralized traditional bank system, where the clients go to one bank and then go get all the products from there, to decentralized one. Decentralized means that the clients can get to some point of client relationship points. This could be bank, this could be some mobile application, this could be Google, Apple, Facebook, doesn't matter. And then they got the product from another source, and mostly on the back end, often there are banks because they need licenses, or there is some fintech companies, and this becomes decentralized. And the best technology, the most natural to make this happen is blockchain, as you probably understand, yeah, because the blockchain is about decentralization. So this how we solve this problem. It's we divided any product that banks provides to 3 parts. One of them is solution provider. So it's a sales point. It's often a bank itself, and then there is a supplier of capital or any kind of raw force resources that are needed in order to enable this product. So we split the product on these 3 parts, and then we find out that in many cases these are different entities, so decentralized one. And then we come up with all those product line. So forex exchange, deposit placement, securitization, crowdfunding, decentralized KYC, based on this model. I will tell you in more details on one product that we're working on right now. It's proof of asset protocol and of BankEx. This is the product that we're using for our own New York opening offices. So open office right now here with this product, and we're using this for private placement sale of our tokens in the United States. So what is that? We're solving the problem of enabling the capital for small organizations. So let's say McDonald's. McDonald's has low interest and a lot of access to capital. So there are 15,000 branches of McDonald's in the US, and there is 100,000 small businesses. At those small businesses, all of them, each of them, they have high interest, and they don't have so good access to the capital as McDonald's has. So why they cannot be treated as one big businesses as McDonald's and get the same access to capital. So because of the lack of standardization, integration, this is where blockchain can basically make a game changer. Yeah, and just to take a look at this problem more broadly. So any kind of asset is not liquid because liquidity requires many things come together. It requires the time come together, geo come together. It requires some stuff, some economical reasons. Economics requires legal and accounting costs pretty low. So to make this economically reasonable, for this asset be liquid. So also blockchain, so they could be solved because we are working with different decentralized assets as a one big asset. So tokenization, the new securitization, is the new way to solve the problem, and it means that the token could be backed by asset, and while securitization means that you're creating a special purpose vehicle, and it requires lawyers, it requires accounting, payment engines, and it's quite expensive. So tokenization is much less expensive, and it enables much more equities, much more assets to be tokenized. So this is the how this works. So BankEx itself, it's kind of plug-and-play tool where the tokenizator, third-party provider, and escrow could be plug-and-played, and then tokenization go to the capital market through security, coin, or token. And token is basically mean private sale. It's the same as we're right now dealing in the US. So we may make private sale of our tokens to the accredited, US accredited investors. Coins, it's coin exchange, security, it's regular securitization. This is part of our pipeline. So we're dealing with pay-the-loan securitization. This is typical securitization. Then we have crowdfunding or rejected loans securitization, crypto gold, and the last one is the most interesting. It's city skyscraper. So it's the new building that we can tokenize. We're tokenizing by installing Internet of Things and taking the movements. And as soon there are more than 4 hours per day movements in the one premise, it means that it's occupied and the royalty should be paid to investors. So it's automatical charging the royalty from because of the occupation of the building. And it means instance audit of this building based on the Internet of Things. So it's kind of new way to make a dealing with investors. So to make this happen, we are building the infrastructure and building the standards. So this requires in order to get high SLAs. So banking SLAs, they're often 99.6%, and it's one of the reasons why startups usually are not a good fit for the banks. So to make the SLAs, we are partnered with some big guys like Symphony Foundation. It's another to get the standards, industry standard for the banks. Microsoft Azure, it's another to go with virtual machine with inside of the bank and easier to integrate. We have some perspective pilot with consensus discussing right now. We have some negotiation with the big liquidity providers like Blackpool liquidity with Forex markets, so and many others. This is a technical slide, explains how we integrate with the bank with virtual machine. So it means that once installed the virtual machine, you can basically easily change the products in plug-and-play way. So this green product owners, it means in other products. So you can download that new product in a matter of a couple of days and enable them instead of just using 6 months for the new pilots. So the team is most of the team former bankers. As I said, BankEx, this means bank exchange of products. Another meaning is ex-bankers. And me, myself, I was Stanford MBA alumni. I was worked for McKinsey, for Citadel Hedge Fund, and leading innovation lab in Sberbank. And we have 2 lawyers in the team, senior lawyers, and we have some very experienced serial entrepreneurs and IT guys. Our advisory board, so we have on the board Chris Skinner, who is one of the key bloggers on the Bank-as-a-Service topic in the world. Then we have Gabriel Colombo, Symphony Foundation CEO, and Nehemia Kramer, he's early stage investor in Ethereum and very famous crypto folks like Sasha Ivanov, he's founder of Waves, top 20 cryptocurrency, and Sergey Sergenko, Chronobank, Sydney. Yeah, so we're already serving more than 10 banks in Russia with KYC product and crowdfunding product, Moscow Exchange. Then we initiated 3 more products on the market, and we're about to open office in New York and raise some money from venture capital and even more money from pre-ICO. So we are going to raise in the ICO 50 million plus and really make not just technology, but also a bunch of licenses, so bit license in New York, some OTC licenses, and enable a bunch of crypto fiat gateways, and liquidity is going. Yeah, this is our roadmap. So you see number of banks is growing, number of solutions, and basically the system, we want to create to add more companies on the board. Yeah, and this is what our offer to the banks. So we for small and medium banks, community banks, we sell them a product white label. So we empower KYC product, we empower tokenization, the securitization product. Then for the bigger banks, they just can use our technology. And some banks offer businesses from us. So we're developing this product as a separate businesses, and they're buying this from us. Okay, thank you for your attention. This is BankEx. Yeah, if you have quick questions.
I don't know if you mentioned this. Are you required to register essentially doing securitization with the SEC? And if you are not, is there an infrastructure where you actually are able to do so on a fairly lower friction basis?
Yeah, so the infrastructure, the licensing itself, it's part of provider. So we can we have 2 choices. We can either apply and get the license ourselves, or we can use the license of one of our partner or sponsor. So somebody who will sponsor this license for us. In this case, will be just pure technology solution, and basically legally they will do this, not us. Yeah, and the technology on the back, it's blockchain technology. But the reason is that on the so we got a token, and then the token could be really a crypto, or the token just could be a security. So it's depends on the particular situation, the particular need.
Other questions? Oh, hold a sec. I'll run you a mic.
Thanks. The proof of asset protocol, yeah, that one. The left side of the model, how does BankEx interface with the asset exactly, or what is?
Yeah, so it's through tokenizator. Tokenization means it's our third-party provider, and this third-party provider, they owns the technology in order to tokenize particular asset. So, for instance, right now we're in negotiations with some minories. It's the guys who make a mining of metals. And for third-party provider, we consider some international company that is making the software that's used by all the biggest minories in the world to measure the depository and to measure the volumes.
Let's say I own the token and the mine bank. How do I get my claim?
Yeah, this is escrow. So it means that we first of all, so in SPV you have legally connected this in special legal entity. It means there are no risk of agents, because even if we destroy it's a legal entity, and we in every case of the asset we are finding the way to make this really safe for investors. So in minories, it means that there is independent mining company, or like usually some US companies who are mining all over the world on some local minories, and who are responsible for that. So even if the owner changed, the same company here, and they cover the risk of investors.
Any other questions? Excellent. Big round of applause for Igor.
Thank you.